Under the sea, a magical world. And also, if you look hard enough and you know how to scuba dive, a living link to America's tortured past. Jay Hagler has seen it.
Combining the importance of history and ancestral memory and understanding how that applies today, combining those things with scuba diving, that was a match made in heaven. Attention everybody, attention on deck. Make sure that you're close to and with your buddy. We have an hour trip to the dive site.
Hagler is part of Diving with a Purpose, a group of primarily black divers who love to go underwater, but also have a larger mission to find and research sunken ships from the international slave trade.
The stories that we tell are important, and more importantly, the untold stories. These stories, the Guerrero, and then many other ships, as we got more involved in the search for these ships, became exciting because most people haven't heard the story, including myself.
Diving with a Purpose, or DWP, was founded in 2003 by divers Ken Stewart and Brenda Lansendorf to join an ongoing effort to find the remains of the Guerrero, a ship that wrecked on a reef in the Florida Keys in 1827 after a battle with a British warship trying to enforce anti-slave trade laws. Of the 561 enslaved Africans on board, 41 drowned.
So let's do some gear checking.
Tara Roberts, a National Geographic explorer and storytelling fellow, has written on the slave ships, the people on them, and the divers looking for them in a cover story for the magazine titled Hidden No More. That's Jay Hagler in diving gear.
Most people know the name of the Mayflower, the ship that brought the Pilgrims over to the Americas. But who knows the names of the Guerrero or the Henrietta Marie or the São José Paquete de Africa?
Have you heard the name of the Mayflower? Let me know in the comments.
Helping bring those lost souls back into memory and honoring them and acknowledging them.
Robert's life changed, she says, when she first saw a photograph of DWP divers in the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C.
Seeing a picture specifically of black women on this boat in wetsuits, I don't know what it was about them. They looked so free and so joyous. They reminded me of superheroes, and I wanted to be like them.
In 2018, Roberts quit her job with a D.C. nonprofit and joined the DWP Divers. According to slavevoyages.org, a database of decades of research by scholars at a consortium of universities, more than 36,000 transatlantic voyages were made between 1501 and 1867, carrying some 12.5 million captured people to ports in the Americas. It's believed 1.8 million lost their lives in the course of the journey known as the Middle Passage. Around 1,000 shipwrecks have been recorded. Yet fewer than 10 have ever been located and studied. Diving with a Purpose is part of the Slave Wrecks Project, an international group of researchers and institutions hosted by the National Museum of African American History and Culture, combining maritime archaeology with training and community engagement.
Welcome back.
Tara Roberts recalls coming upon an anchor when she dove what are believed to be the wrecks of two Danish ships, Fredericus Quartus and Christianus Quintus, that sank off the coast of Costa Rica in 1710.
How do you think you would feel seeing something like this up close and personal?
So it's very surreal. And then to see this artifact from the 1700s and to know the history attached to that artifact, this is just an amazing moment to actually put my eyes on this piece of history.
It really is actually, I would call, spiritual.
Jay Hagler has made more than 1,000 dives at several sites around the world.
In going down and searching for the ship, we're like a crime scene investigator because slavery is literally the biggest crime, global crime in the history of mankind.
One of the best-known wrecks is the Clotilda, burned and sunk purposely by its owners in Alabama's Mobile Bay to hide the evidence of its illegal voyage in 1860. It's the subject of renewed interest now, with a National Geographic documentary, a book on its history,
a sense of pride,
and another documentary that recently premiered at Sundance, focusing on the descendants of the more than 100 enslaved brought on the ship from West Africa. Indeed, it's the continuing connections these wrecks have to today that motivate those in Diving with a Purpose. Roberts has a new 6-part National Geographic podcast, part travelogue, part memoir, titled Into the Depths, to explore past and present.
I wonder if Black divers would notice different details, if they would focus on finding artifacts that help us understand the full humanity of the captive Africans. I hope that people come away knowing some facts that they didn't know before. I hope that they fall in love with these divers in the same way that I have. I hope people are inspired to actually come be a part of the work.
I think it was a great year. You did some outstanding work. With that said, we're going to recognize our new advocates.
Getting a new generation involved is key, says Jay Hagler. Diving with a Purpose runs programs for young people across the country, as well as in Mozambique and Costa Rica.
The hook is diving. Scuba diving is so exciting. And once they start diving, then we give them a purpose. We say, hey, how about learning about history? And then the world is their oyster.
Be honest in the comments. Do this video inspire you to want to join this organization?
Is there an understanding that a lot will never be found?
Yes, there is. And the important part of this entire journey is literally telling the untold American story. If we do not find the ship, that doesn't mean that we do not tell the story. As long as our young people take the mantle and tell those stories, that's what's important.
For now, researchers and divers, including members of Diving with a Purpose, continue to search for the Guerrero and other ships. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Jeffrey Brown.
This video raises questions, and I need for you to be extremely honest in the comments when answering them. And just so you know, I have 3 questions. Number 1, have you ever wanted to go scuba diving? Number 2, what are your thoughts about this video? Please share them in the comments. And number 3, who would you like for me to do a video on next? Now please be honest when answering these questions. Share this video with anyone you deem necessary. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.